Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Thanks for tuning in to Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Now, everybody loves a Jeep. Everybody also loves lifting them because it can make it more versatile, it can just make it look better. But, Clayton, there can be an issue when you're lifting it. There's all kinds of issues you got to think about.
Well, the biggest thing is once you lift your Jeep up, the geometry changes somewhat in the vehicle. Your caster is going to change, your pinion angle in the rear for the rear drive shaft and the track of the vehicle. Luckily, we consider all those when we're building our suspension kits, and we start off with our Ride Right kit, which is our least expensive entry-level kit, but it still takes in consideration these adjustments you need to make. You'll have adjustable front control arm to set your caster. You'll have front track bar and rear track bar to adjust the track of your vehicle. And then you have rear adjustable control arms.
Let's talk about caster in the first place. How is it affected when you lift the vehicle? What are you going to notice when you're driving?
So if you're looking at the top of the knuckle will be tilted back. So when you lift it up, it starts to straighten up. If you have your wheel and you're driving normally, you let go of it, it usually comes back to center to some extent. When you drive with less caster, the wheel tends to not snap back, and it makes the vehicle kind of hunting all the time.
Super twitchy all the time.
Yeah.
And also issues with the track then when you lift it. How's that affected?
When you don't adjust the track, the axle's not centered under the vehicle perfectly. So your springs aren't aligned up, your shocks aren't aligned up, and then also the bushings are somewhat torqued up a little bit. So that affects the way the vehicle handles a little bit, the ride and stuff like that.
Now you mentioned the Ride Right kit, which is great if you're going to spend a lot of time on the concrete, maybe do some off-roading, you want it to behave well while you're riding on the road. What's another level that you offer?
So we offer our Overland Plus kit, and that's the next step up from our Ride Right kit. And basically what that does is it gives you heavy-duty or lower control arms that are going to help to take a beating off-road. You're going over rocks and stuff, and they feature a heavy wall tube housing for the bushing. Our 2x2 1/4-inch wall tubing really takes a beating. It's light and strong.
And then the next level up for folks that are even getting more serious with off-roading.
Our third level is what we call our premium kit. And basically what happens then is we replace this gyro joint with what's called the Johnny joint. And that offers more articulation to the arm, which will help a little bit with your off-roading capabilities. Basically, the axles will be able to follow the ground a little bit easier.
Obviously, the adjustability sets Clayton Off-Road apart. How does the construction of your parts actually set you apart as well?
One of the key features to the arm is, like I mentioned, the 2x2 1/4 tubing. It's structurally a lot stronger, a shape stronger than round tubing. And the other advantage is just the weight. This has the same strength as a solid 2-inch round piece of steel, but with a lot less weight because it's hollowed out. All of our products here are CNC machined and robotically welded. You're not going to have any issues with or failures with the welds.
And your track bars are adjustable just like your control arms as well. And why do those make such a big difference?
We bend them. They match the factory track bars pretty close. So they'll actually work on a stock vehicle if you need to without lifting it. But they're all, again, CNC bent and drilled and tapped on the ends. They're 1 3/8, 5/16 wall tubing, so they're very strong.
And then what about to sort of wrap things up here and finish off the kit?
To finish off the kit, it's important to have bump stops. It stops the tire from coming up and getting into your fender, especially on a lot of new Jeeps have plastic fenders. Adjustable sway bar links, front and rear. And then we have springs for various lift heights. We have them offer them from 1.5 inch all the way up to 3.5 inch. We also offer a heavy-duty springs for certain lifts. For like the overlanding market, somebody might have rooftop tent or a lot of camping gear they want to carry around, and they want their Jeep to still be nice and level.
And I know you sell only the best brands of shocks at ClaytonOffroad.com. And what if folks want to put all this together, but they don't know exactly what they need? What can they do?
You can go to our contact page on the website, send us an email. Somebody will get back to you pretty quickly, or you're always welcome to call in and talk to somebody in person.
If you're going to lift your Jeep, you want better performance and you want it to handle well when it's on the road as well, Clayton Off-Road is the place to go, ClaytonOffroad.com. We shall return with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com and the Motorhead of the Week right around the corner. Stay tuned.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. And by Campbell's Custom Care, your detail specialist.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. Tires, ultra important, of course, and they never seem to last as long as you want them to. Preston, what's the chief problem that makes tires wear out so fast?
Your number one problem is you're out of balance. When your tires are out of balance and your wheels are out of balance, your whole assembly's out of balance. When your whole assembly's out of balance, it's making your tires run hotter than they should. And when they run hotter than they should, your tires are wearing wrong, they're losing tire life, and there's multiple other things. Your brake drums are out of balance. That's when the axle's out of balance, it's causing your wheels and tires to be out of balance. And when that happens, it's costing you money and more money and more money.
And it's also creating a lot of friction.
It's creating friction. It's creating the bad tire wear is creating cupping. And when cupping starts, you can stop it, but it's going to continue if you don't try and stop it, and it's just going to cost you more money.
And also affects your gas mileage too.
Absolutely, absolutely. When the tires are running hot and the assembly's shaking how it should, you're losing money on fuel. Not just tires, but you're losing money on fuel too. You're having to replace chassis components when you don't want to. You're spending more money. And it all boils down to is the tire being out of balance.
So how have you guys at Centromatic solved the problem?
So we have come up with a product using centrifugal force. We've got what we put in the ring here itself. We've got our balancer here.
So this is just an oil that goes in the ring along with some metal shot.
You got the oil with steel shot. It's synthetic oil, steel shot, goes in the ring. Use a centrifugal force as you're driving down the road. You just mount these on your hub. You put your wheel back on the fronts. On the rears, you take the outside dual off, put your balancer on, you put your outside dual back on. As you're driving down the road, you're using centrifugal force. They kick in at about 35. You have centrifugal force that counterreaction, and it's running your tires 8 to 10 degrees cooler. I'm going to guarantee you 25 to 30% increase in tire life, up to 50%. And it's going to also balance all your chassis components, your axles, your brake drums. It's going to balance everything that we were just talking about, causing issues, costing you money. Our balancer is a simple solution to it. It's going to save you money in those aspects. All it is a one-time investment. After that one-time investment, the next time you go to buy tires, you're profitable from there on out. You're not actually making money, but you're saving money. So I'd say you're profitable in that aspect.
You've got a great demo.
Absolutely,
here, yeah.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
So that's represents your tire there, your wheel.
This is going to be an out of balance. I'm not going to show you all that yet, but we're going to say this is your wheel and tire right here. Okay. And I'm going to set it right here so you can really get an aspect. You can see it running. You've got a little shake, nothing crazy, not a bad out of balance. We're going to say this is your imbalance right here. This is a tire stuck in there. This is some mud. This is a chunk missing out of your tire. You know, just something that's out of balance, making your tire out of balance. And you're going to see, you can watch this drill shake on the table. You can hear it. I mean, it's shaking everything. Sure. So we're going to say this is your balancer. Ball bearings and liquid. This isn't what's actually in our product. As I've said, this is what's in our product. This is just for demonstration. Same aspect. You're going to put it on, just like mounting it. And you can see, once it gets up to a certain speed, it's just like smooth. There it is, increasing your tire life, saving you money, running your tires cooler. Everything that we've talked about, it's doing it firsthand. You can see it right here. Anyone who's watching can see that once I put this on, it's not shaking the table to death. I take it off, the table's going to steer and rattle. We can rattle these balancers off the main table.
And by nature, once you put a Centromatic balancer on, how does it adapt? You know, maybe you pick up a big rock or a chunk falls off your tire or something like that.
So a lot of times you have people call and they have wheel weights on there. I tell them you can take them off, you can leave them on, because guess what? Once we put our balancer on, if you chip a weight, that's why it's dynamic wheel balancing. You chip a weight, it doesn't matter. We're still balancing it. Whether you lose all your weights or you lose one, it's going to make up for it in one way or another.
So what kind of vehicles can I use these on?
3/4 tons and up on vehicles. We can fit all your motorhomes. We can fit majority of your motorcycles. We make them for motorcycles. That little shake that they have in the front end, we can take care of that for you. Trailers, all trailers. 99% of trailers we're going to fit.
Now, how much more mileage am I going to get out of my tires with these?
So on your steer axles, we're going to tell you your average steer, and this one goes on your steer axle. Your average steer, we're going to say you get 70,000 miles. Once customers put them on, I'm going to guarantee you we're going to get you 100,000 miles. If you get an average of 70,000 miles out of your tires, I'm going to guarantee you 100,000 miles on your. Once you put those on and you put a new set on, I'm guaranteeing you 100,000 miles on your next set.
Your tires are going to last a whole lot longer. You're going to save a lot of fuel, and you're going to save a ton of money. Go to Centromatic.com, get a set of these. You are not going to regret it. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. Keep it locked here.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, coming to you from the Campbell's Custom Care Studio.
Hey there, this is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. You see a lot of trailers out there, cargo trailers, RVs, that sort of thing. Mike, it's not as simple as it looks. There's a lot of variables to it, a lot of things that can go wrong. And by the way, we're going to tell you how you can fix all these as well. Mike, what are some of the things that can go wrong when you're towing and some of the variables you got to worry about?
Well, one of the most common things is trailer sway. So if your trailer isn't balanced correctly, you can get some instabilities there, and could lead to the rollover of the trailer and perhaps the tow vehicle too.
And what are some things about balance we need to know? You throw out the term balance, but specifically, how do you balance a trailer?
So what we need to do is make sure the majority of the weight is in front of the rear axle. So the manufacturer builds most of these trailers with the axles towards the rear, and what they're trying to do is to encourage you to make sure that they're loaded towards the front, so that you have and if you do that right, you'll have the optimum tongue weight, and the vehicle will be stable going down the road.
How do people measure those things? And a lot of it's folks guessing.
Yeah, there's two parts where people are guessing. First off, what's the optimum tongue weight? And then the next part is, what is it? So sometimes there's bathroom scales and things like that, but lots of this, truth be told, people are guessing.
And the first solution you came up with is an app on the Google Play Store. It's a free app that folks can get. Also at the Apple App Store too.
Yes, yeah, free app called GVWR, and we've developed a simple 1, 2, 3-step process, really powerful enough for the pros, but also accessible by the novice. So really, it'll step you through, help you make sure that you've got your trailer loaded correctly, that you're within the payload capacity of your vehicle. You have the combination right as well. So really all the things you need to be safe and confident on your next towing adventure.
And what information do I need then to put into the app, and where do I find it?
So the app will walk you through it. Most of it is right on the vehicle. So inside your tow vehicle in the door jamb, there's a tire loading sticker that helps you find your payload. Also, the VIN sticker has the gross vehicle weight rating. That's what GVWR stands for. And then your trailer also has decals to let you know, again, the payload capacity and the gross vehicle weight rating.
You've come up with this really clever tool. This is called the haul gauge. And how does it work?
Well, this device plugs into the onboard diagnostic port of your vehicle, so just under your dash. It's got some sensors on board, and also it's pulling some information from your vehicle.
And what kind of information does it get, and how does it use it?
So to get the tongue weight and some other what we call the pitch features, it's using the onboard accelerometer to measure the pitch change of your vehicle. So it's very sensitive, and when you put weight in the bed or on the coupler, you're going to see that the vehicle starts to squat just a little bit. We can sense that with this device, and so it communicates to the app to tell what the weight is. It also picks up the VIN and uses a database that we have, so it knows how stiff the suspension is on the vehicle.
So I have all that information through GVWR and through my haul gauge. How do I know what to do about it?
So haul gauge will help you make the measurements. GVWR helps you with the context and the rest of that. And so the GVWR app will give you all the directions. If you're light, it'll inform you on the tongue weight. It'll inform you to take weight from the back of the trailer and put it to the front. It's going to tell if you're overloaded, if you're safe to drive.
Of course, the tongue weight is really important when you're towing something, but the haul gauge can show us a whole lot more. What other kind of details could we get from the haul gauge?
Yeah, there's 6 features there. It can calculate the total weight of the vehicle, so the combined weight. Also payload, if you're doing a gooseneck trailer or fifth wheel. Also your trailer brake gain. And then also it'll help you set up a weight distribution hitch. So really anything that's related to towing, again, to help you to be safe and have confidence on your next towing adventure.
Well, he nailed it. You want to be safe, you want to be confident when you're on the road, and this is a super simple way, and it's a really affordable way to do all of that. You can find it at haulgauge.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com, so don't go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Eagle Lights, finely crafted LED lighting solutions. And by AP Laser, leading the way.
Thanks for riding along with Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. I know lots of you have RVs. Maybe you love off-roading. Well, of course, you get into trouble out there, or just a simple matter of hitching up your trailer, you're going to want to use a bottle jack. There's no way to bring your whole floor jack out with you. But there's some pitfalls, Richard, that come with using a bottle jack when you're off-road or at your campsite.
Not everything is going to be flat on a vehicle when you want to use it. So especially if you're trying to jack up from an axle, you know, it's a tubular thing, it's going to roll off.
Yeah, and this is all you get when you get a bottle jack.
Exactly.
They're great jacks, but this is it. So in ideal conditions on something flat, you can jack something up easily. You're on the trail, the side of the road, your campsite, and you've got a metal axle on top of this. It's going to slide right off.
Exactly.
So you guys at Bottle Jack Buddy came up with a solution.
We did.
Yeah, what's it look like? How does it work?
Okay, so this is our regular size. This is our larger size. And what this does is this cradles the axle. So if you have a solid axle on here, it's not going to roll off the jack.
It's as simple as that. And there's the largest for the larger axle, but it also accommodates the larger saddle here on the bottom.
Yeah, depending on your bottle jack.
Gotcha. So let's take a look at how it'll actually, we can apply it here with this. And you know, two different sizes here. The axles, it fits perfectly. It'll keep it from sliding off here. How do I know this thing's going to last under the weight of my trailer or my vehicle?
Well, we've tested it up to 17,000 pounds.
That'll do.
100% U.S. steel, manufactured in the U.S. 100%.
And designed here as well.
It is, got a patented design, yes.
Now, how do I know what size axle I have and which Bottle Jack Buddy I'm going to need?
You can get information from the manufacturer. You could also look online, but there's a lot of different applications. A lot of vehicles build different axles depending on towing capacity. And as far as the jack, a lot of bottle jacks build 2 or 3 different sizes. So always measure your axle. Always measure your bottle jack.
What are some of the folks that use the Bottle Jack Buddy telling you some experiences they've had with it?
We've gotten great experience. The product sells itself. It works really well. We even had a guy recently, he had roadside assistance, brand new motorhome. He was on the side of the road for 4 hours, they never showed up. And so he actually has this product now, and he's actually been able to use it to change his own tire, which is really cool.
This is great for off-roaders, as we mentioned, and you showed it off first at Overland West last year. How was it received there?
So Expedition Portal did an article on it, and it was the top most innovative product at Overland Expo West.
Kind of speaks for itself, too. And I understand you've been in some magazines as well?
Yep, Men's Journal being one of them as well.
Excellent. And there's a lot of imitators out there. How do we know that we're finding the real Bottle Jack Buddy?
So the best thing to do is look for the term Bottle Jack Buddy on the adapter, but also we have several retailers on our website, bottlejackbuddy.net. You can also get these on eBay, and if you buy on eBay, you can have them shipped internationally as well. eBay does all that. But we have multiple retailers in multiple states. You can find them on our website.
We have the regular and the large. You know, what are the specs on those? What are the sizes?
So the regular will cradle up to a 3-inch axle, and the large will cradle up to a 4-inch axle.
And these are going to work for anybody. If they're off-roading, if they're towing a trailer, and now even for a low-profile bottle jack like that,
Yeah.
folks with a classic car or something
Exactly.
like that.
If you got an older race car or something like that, you can't fit one of these under the axle, you can buy jacks like these.
It's a perfect solution for jacking up your vehicle, maybe getting it out of trouble if you're off-road. It's the Bottle Jack Buddy. You can find it at bottlejackbuddy.net.
All fuels are not created equal. Now the manufacturer's secret sauce or additive they're putting in the fuels, well, that can vary. So it's important to know what you're putting in your fuel tank. This AMSOIL Tech Tip is all about the fuel systems, so let's talk fuel systems. You can see it right here. It all starts in the fuel tank there. The fuel pump is usually located in the tank, yes, submerged in fuel. Then it comes out, goes through a fuel filter, and then it's going to run up through your ejectors. Now, most systems today are called return systems. They return all the way back to the tank to keep the fuel cool and keep it moving. And the ejectors always have a good supply. But the key there is the fuel pump is located in the tank on most cars. And man, take a look at this, Lynn. What do you think of this? This thing here? Holy mackerel, this thing's been eaten up alive. And believe it or not, it wasn't in there much. It's supposed to look like this. What could cause that and how can we fix it?
Unfortunately, the fuels that are on the market today don't sit real well. They need to be treated. Ethanol fuel isn't the enemy. You just need to make sure that you're handling it properly.
And that's a great point. Think about UTVs, ATVs, the marine industry. I mean, the fuels, they have to sit a long time and there's issues with that. You got a product that's going to help us.
We do, and that's AMSOIL Quick Shot. It does 3 things really well. It's an excellent cleaner, so it kind of helps from keeping this type of thing from happening, the varnish and the depositing. It also helps with ethanol-related issues, such as phase separation. That's when the fuel separates and it creates all kinds of problems in the bottom of the gas tank. QuickShot is also an excellent short-term stabilizer, so your seasonally stored equipment, you can put this in your fuel and not have to worry about it.
Well, QuickShot's the way to go. Head over to their website at amsoil.com and you can buy you all the QuickShot you need. You put it in every single tank, you're not going to have any issues.
And now for our Aspire Auto Accessories Motorhead of the Week. It's Bristol, Tennessee's Chrissy Sykes, and she got her first Jeep only in 2017, but she was hooked immediately. Right away, she started the Jeep Babes Worldwide. And that group was meant to be a safe place for women, a place where the ladies can make friends and share their love of Jeeping. And after just a few short years, the group has almost 13,000 members. And in that short time, chapters in each state and around the world have raised over $100,000 for different charities. Chrissy Sykes is a motorhead who's making a difference. Her Jeep Babes Worldwide is helping ladies find a safe haven and helping lots of charities at the same time. And that is why she is our Aspire Auto Accessories Motorhead of the Week. And if you want to be Motorhead of the Week or you know someone else who should be, hop onto our website, motorheadgarage.tv. Click the link there and tell us your story. And if you have a product you want to see featured here on the show, go to that same website, motorheadgarage.tv. We'll get you here in our studio. We're out of time. We'll see you next time here on Motorhead Garage, presented by dragonfiretools.com. Drive safely.